Hi, I'm Eduardo Neret with Campus Reform. Today we're in downtown Washington, D.C. at a climate march. Jane Fonda is in attendance. The climate protesters claim they're protesting investment in fossil fuels, particularly among the big banks. So we're going to ask the protesters if they have bank accounts and whether that construes participating in the destruction of the climate. Ms. Fonda, should we shut down our bank accounts to really fight climate?
Climate justice! Now!
I'm participating in the march, though. You guys are protesting today bank investment in fossil fuels. Do you think it's wrong for banks or people in general to profit off investment in fossil fuels?
Absolutely. There's no other questioning behind that.
Yeah, I think it's wrong for anyone to profit off of the exploitation and destruction of another person's life or another animal's life or another living being's life.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone should be profiting off of the fucking destruction of our planet. The idea of profiting off of fossil fuels and of profiting off of the exploitation of our earth is intrinsically intertwined with capitalism in general.
When banks, when universities invest in these funds and these fuels, it creates this tacit and complicit alliance between people who are putting their money to be invested and these groups that long-term have a really negative effect on the planet and therefore on the people.
It is putting one's own livelihood in the short term over the very survival of basically our entire planet.
Banks have a societal responsibility to engage in climate action and to try to divest from all of these fossil fuels.
So I don't think it's right to profit off of the exploitation of our resources, of labor, of our fucking future, pretty much. So yeah, I absolutely think that it is morally reprehensible.
So yeah, I think it's pretty fucked up that banks are going to continue to invest.
People have bank accounts out there. So do you guys have bank accounts?
Yeah. And it's made me think really heavily on really wanting to switch bank accounts.
I have a bank account. I presume you guys have bank accounts.
I do.
How about you?
Yeah, unfortunately you have to.
Do you guys have bank accounts?
I believe I have a savings account.
Do you guys have bank accounts?
Yeah.
Isn't it hypocritical for you to have a bank account at one of these banks that you're protesting?
If we're going to live in this system, the system that we're trying to change, it isn't necessarily fair to expect people to completely derail their lives while we're trying to make a better place.
To some extent, I can say that it's hypocritical for, us to be out here, but then have our bank accounts.
There is no way to live currently that does not make you complicit in the climate crisis.
On some level, yes, everyone is contributing to the climate crisis.
Ms. Fonda, by having bank accounts, are we indirectly contributing to climate change?
Keep moving back. We need you to move back.
On a personal level, since we are all subjects in the capitalist system, it's extremely difficult for an individual, especially someone who has the boot on their throat in the system, to completely avoid the system.
Fonda, is it hypocritical to have a bank account and then complain outside of these banks?
I need you to step away. Thank you. Just keep
Sorry,
going.
we need you to keep moving.
I guess I don't want us to answer the question.
They choose what to do with that money. And I personally do not consent to that.
Because systemically, you will die if you do not have a bank account, if you don't drive your car to work.
We as white settlers on indigenous land definitely are contributing to the climate crisis.
Would you look to close the account?
Definitely if there were other accounts that could give me what I needed in terms of bank accounts.
Right.
Yes, in an ideal situation, we would all be able to personally divest ourselves from these banks if they won't divest from dirty money. But unfortunately, it's the system that we live in, and we have to change it from the inside rather than completely destroying it.
Well, if you have the opportunity to close the account, I think that would be wonderful.
This morning you guys shut down traffic near the World Bank because by shutting down traffic, they made people sit in their cars, which burns more gas, which emits more carbon. So you're basically doing the exact opposite of what you claim to be fighting. Do you guys think that's the best way of going about climate change, shutting down traffic?
Oh no, it's fucking bullshit. We are taking this power and we are making you realize that this is fucking important.
Yeah, so I think that argument is actually really nitpicky.
Yeah, I'm sorry people had to sit in their car this morning and were late for work, but maybe they can go and explain to their employer, hey, there's people outside on the street protesting for things that matter.
How else are we supposed to do it? Are we just supposed to say it in a park?
Well, once again, you're looking at the small picture.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of options and we don't have a lot of time.
It's the whole argument if you're anti-capitalist, then why do you have an iPhone? Yes. Well, how am I supposed to have a job without, how in college, not having an iPhone?
We all have a carbon footprint. We all do things that do contribute to climate change.
Unfortunately, a little bit more CO2 is entering the atmosphere, but it's a necessary evil in getting our our message out, you know.
We are here to ask that big banks, financial institutions, and universities divest from fossil fuels and dirty money. The innocent people who are stuck in their cars are unfortunately part of that.
How's it going? I'm Eduardo Neret with Campus Reform. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to get our latest content, click right here. If you're interested in joining our team as a correspondent or an investigator, click there. And if you want to donate to make sure we can create more great content like this, click right here.